even if I look at the hospital and I see why people are absent a lot, more and more absences are around mental health. So stress is a number one reason across almost all organizations why people take days off. So again, it shouldn't surprise you then that in universities we're seeing an exponential rise in stress, anxiety, and depression in students. In fact, it is becoming a crisis. Counseling services across the UK in universities are overwhelmed. And more and more students come to university having already been diagnosed with mental health issues. So there is something going on, okay? And so almost all students will experience some form of stress, okay? And again, a lot of it can be, there's different kinds of stress. It can be preparing for exam, and some of that is just stress in a particular situation and then it goes away, right? It doesn't create, any kind of illness around it, and we have to learn techniques and ways to manage our stress. And it's okay, again, when you talk to your personal tutor or you're talking to your program director, if you're feeling really stressed before an exam, what are some techniques? What are things that you can do? Anxiety, and again, it's normal to have stressful situations, as I just said, but then there's those times when you just feel almost disabled. You can't go on because you're taken with so much anxiety. And of course, in its extreme, you can have a panic attack. But and then there are some people who are often, they feel anxious, they don't know why they feel anxious, they feel anxious all the time. And then depression, okay? And as I just said a minute ago, it's normal to feel low. Sometimes we just feel a bit down, we've had a bad day, maybe we didn't sleep well. But it's that reoccurring regularly or getting into a position where every day you feel down, okay? And that's when you definitely need to seek help. So just quickly, symptoms of anxiety: feeling of panic, fear, uneasiness, problems sleeping, catastrophic thinking, heart palpitations, difficulties concentrating, panic attacks. And again, if you're having any of those symptoms, then you need to go talk to someone about it. You need to either self-refer yourself to get some help, or maybe that person that you go to talk to can help you. Same thing with depression. You might be feeling exhaustion and lack of energy, problems sleeping, and again, it's on that spectrum. So it's not one. It's across that spectrum, and so difficulties concentrating, feeling hopeless, and again, that's very different from, well, I kind of waited to the last moment and I didn't get my work done, and now all of a sudden I'm panicking, okay? Because that can be dealt with. But if you really can't get on with things, you're feeling just like every day and no joy in life. So I think we're going to skip that one now and maybe we'll come back later. So how do you manage your mental health claim? How do you avoid getting in those situations? Well, so these are the 5 daily steps to mental well-being. And they're all really important. So one of the things is, a lot of people, hold things in. They don't share. They're kind of pushing through by themselves. So one of the most important things you can do is make sure you're connecting with the people around you, and that's where I come back to this whole idea of social capital. Getting some people, exchanging some emails, having some people now on your course that you've connected with. making sure you get to know your program leader. We'll talk about the personal tutors. And also, it can be people at home, but it's a little easier sometimes to talk with people who are on the same journey, who are going through that with you. But it's really important to connect with the people around you. Do something active, so it doesn't mean, oh, I'm feeling really stressed and I have an exam tomorrow, I'm going to go out for a run, okay? It's really building it into your everyday life. So what are, I'm sure all of you have ways that you relax, but again, all the research shows how important physical activity is, doing some sort of exercising. What is one of the best ways that research tells us, what is one of the best exercises that we can do for really clearing out your head and walking? Yeah. Taking a walk, how many of you take a walk every day? Not to the tube, but actually take a walk outside. I am married to the greatest walker in the world. My husband, and he's just, of course, I'm his wife, so I'll say this, he's a brilliant guy. He cranks out about a book a year, and he's an expert in his field, and he swears by walking. He says he does his best thinking, his most creative ideas, and a day without a walk for him is just not a good day. So it really is, there really is something. So it's not, of course, if you've got other kind of hobbies and sports and things that you do, that's fantastic. But just remember, taking just a half hour, stepping out of the hospital, stepping out of the clinic or wherever you work, and just taking a little walk can make such a difference in your health and well-being. And then, noticing things, and that's that whole, have any of you tried mindfulness? Been involved in that at all? Yoga? How many of you do yoga? Few people do yoga. So yeah, it's that whole idea, right, of really being in the moment, and that's where I think sometimes, with our mobile devices, of course, even before mobile devices, I remember I used to try to work with my students to really stay focused, because of course you can have people who are in the room, all of you can be having, you're looking at me, how do I know you're actually focusing on me or even listening to me? You could be off in the clinic, you could be at home thinking about the 10 things that you have to do, you could actually be, on some beach in Barbados as far as I know, So, our minds are incredible things, and, and it's that whole idea, mindfulness is not about necessarily controlling your mind. Some people get that mixed up, but it's about really being able to focus and just let all those thoughts go. And the other thing is, they've done research, and so, I'm sure, this is a leading question, but what do you think? Do you think you have more negative thoughts in a day or more positive thoughts in a day on the typical person? How many people think the typical person has more positive thoughts in a day? Couple. So everybody else has got the negative? Actually, and it's research done here at UCL, people tend to think negative thoughts. We tell ourselves more negative thoughts than we tell ourselves positive thoughts. And why is that? Well, they hypothesize that the reason is because historically, of course, we had to always worry about being, attacked or, something bad happening. So it's a way our brain tries to protect us by, feeding us negative. So that mind chatter that you have to be careful, because it will tend to be more negative than it will be positive mind chatter. So it's learning how to just kind of shoo it away, So that's why I'm a big fan of mindfulness if you haven't tried it. And also yoga is a really in a good way of getting focus and meditation. So, learning something new, and of course part of taking this course is doing that. And then giving to others, and of course you're in a very giving profession, but also sometimes that can be very stressful, and so but it is doing for others, is something. So those are just some of the tips. I'm just going to show you now a short video that's been done by UCL.
University life can be very rewarding and lots of fun, but can sometimes also be challenging. Lots of you might find that you need additional support at some point during your programme. Some of you might also have particular circumstances that affect your studies, like a disability or a wellbeing difficulty. If you require any extra support, it's important to remember that UCL has a range of services to help you make the most of your uni experience. It takes a lot to stand up and say, I need help. But UCL is a kind and caring environment where you're encouraged to voice your concerns. UCL's Student Support and Wellbeing Department should be your first port of call for any issues impacting on your health and wellbeing. They offer lots of advice and information on how to look after yourself as a student and have a number of teams dedicated to supporting you in different ways. This video will talk you through some of the support services available to you during your time at UCL.
University is a great experience, but it can sometimes have its own challenges. As students experiencing mental health difficulties such as excessive stress, anxiety or depression is not uncommon. If you do, or you have a pre-existing mental health condition, it's important to know that there is lots of support available. Your GP can help with any mental health difficulties, and there's also lots of support available on campus. Student Support and Wellbeing have a team of friendly advisors with a wealth of expertise who are here to listen to you and to help. They can offer you a safe space to talk about anything that might be affecting your ability to study. They can refer you to other services if appropriate, and they can work closely with your department to ensure that adjustments are put in place if you need them. It's really easy to see one of the Student Support and Wellbeing advisors. You can come to one of their drop-in sessions, which happen every working day, and these are usually for short inquiries and initial support. If you find that you need more time with an advisor, you can contact them over the phone or by email to make an appointment. Full details of the time and locations of the drop-in sessions can be found on the UCL website, as well as contact details for making an appointment. As well as support through the advisors, if you're managing a long-term mental health condition, you may have access to specialist mental health mentoring. Mentors can meet with students on a regular basis, and together you can work out how to best overcome the barriers to your learning related to your mental health. There is a team of psychiatrists and therapists on campus in student psychological and counselling services. They can help you manage a range of things like adjusting to university, relationship, self-harm behaviours, bereavement and many others. You'll need to complete an online registration form which you can find on the UCL website. After that, you'll then have an initial consultation with a therapist who will talk to you about your needs and make sure that you get the most appropriate form of support. If you find that you need support out of hours, UCL has partnered with an organisation called Care First to provide this. They have a team of accredited counsellors who you can talk to over the phone or online through live chat whenever the Student Support and Wellbeing offices are closed. Full details of this can be found on the UCL student website. Remember that your mental health is just as important as your studies, so make sure that you look after yourself.
As students, it's really important for us to have a balance between our mental well-being and our studies. The Student Support and Wellbeing team at UCL is here to help us achieve that. So, what are the 5 key ways to looking after your mental health? The first way is to connect. You'll make the most of your time here at UCL by building a personal support network. So try to meet others, where you live, through your programme, or through clubs and societies. The second way is staying physically active. Exercising and keeping your body in good shape can help improve your mental well-being as well. The third way is learning something new. Picking up a new skill can both build your sense of achievement and your confidence, so try signing up to a club or a society. The fourth way is giving to others. Even a small act of kindness can make a big difference, and helping others, no matter how you do it, will make you feel better about yourself. The final way is to be mindful. This can be as simple as taking 2 minutes to focus on the present moment, to see hear and feel what's going on around you. It can positively change the way you feel about life and approach challenges. It's also important to remember that something as simple as sleep is vital to your well-being. Not getting enough sleep can seriously impact your ability to study, and getting stressed about not sleeping enough will just make the situation worse. Try to find what works for you, but for most people this will be between 7 and 9 hours sleep a night. If there's anything else you need in regards to well-being, check out the Student Support and Wellbeing blog. It's got great articles on all aspects of well-being, mindfulness, and mental health support.
If you have a disability or long-term health condition, there's lots of support available to you at UCL. Student Support and Wellbeing have a team of advisors that are here to help. We can discuss how we could support you to study as independently as possible, and we'll work with you to identify solutions such as reasonable adjustments. If you consider yourself to be disabled, then get in touch with Student Support and Wellbeing to declare your condition over the phone or via email. This helps to make sure that we can get all necessary adjustments in place for you as quickly as possible. When you meet your advisor for the first time, they'll take you through the process of creating a summary of reasonable adjustments. This is a document which contains all the adjustments that you may need. This may include the use of specialised equipment, access to our specialist IT suite, extensions to your assignments, or adjustments in your exams. The Sora is designed to make things easier, as it saves you from constantly having to repeat the adjustments you need to different members of staff. The Student Support and Wellbeing team also includes advisors who are specialists in different areas. Examples of these areas include specific learning difficulties or autistic spectrum conditions. We can also arrange support workers, such as British Sign Language interpreters, note takers, or mental health mentors if needed.
Ridgemount Practice is UCL's partner GP surgery just around the corner from the main campus. It's super important for you to register with a GP as soon as you arrive at UCL, so that you'll always have access to a doctor when you're ill. When you're ill, your GP should always be your first port of call. Where you can register depends on your postcode, as you normally register with a practice that's closest to where you live. Most UCL students live in North and Central London, so you're eligible to register with the Ridgemount Practice. To register with Ridgemount Practice, you visit their website to complete an online registration form, then you go in for a quick health check and make sure to bring a student ID with you. If you're on a short course less than 6 months, you can't register with Ridgemount Practice, but don't worry because you'll still be seen as a temporary patient. If you live further away and you're not eligible to register with the Ridgemount Practice, you can always visit the NHS website to find out your closest GP and register with them. You can contact them directly on their website. If it's an emergency, remember you can always visit your local accident and emergency. The closest A&E to UCL's main campus is UCLH near Warren Street. Once you're registered with Ridgemount Practice, you can book an appointment really easily online or over the phone. They also have a walk-in surgery open on Sundays that's served on a first-come, first-served basis, so you can see a doctor if it's really urgent. On top of that, Ridgemount Practice also has a team of nurses that offer services like travel vaccinations, sexual health screening, contraception, and care for minor injuries. Have a look at their website for more info and remember to look after yourself at uni.
If you are living in a UCL residence hall, with all the SRAs in your hall and other useful information.
Hi, my name's Charlotte Bradley and I'm the Chaplain and Interfaith Advisor here at UCL. I'm here to provide pastoral support to all students for any issues regarding their faith or their religion. You can come and speak to me in confidence about any issue regarding your faith or belief background, or if you don't identify with a faith at all, and I'll do my best to help. You can get in contact with me by email or over the phone, and I'm always happy to see students for one-to-one appointments. We can discuss any issue relating to your faith or belief background in confidence, and I can signpost you to other organisations when it's appropriate. I can also help you find a place of worship here in London. If you're looking for a place to pray or meditate on campus, there's a large prayer room with ablutions facilities attached to it on level B2 of the new Student Centre. Next door to that, there's a silent meditation room where you can meditate, pray silently, or practice mindfulness. There's lots going on amongst the faith communities here at UCL, and all the major faiths are represented by a student society in the Students' Union. You can go along and meet them at the Welcome Fair in September, or you can get in touch with them through the Students' Union website. The Student Inquiry Centre is a hub for all student inquiries. The team are on hand to provide you with support and information on a wide range of topics during your time at UCL. Staff in the Student Inquiry Centre can provide you with letters to prove you're a student and to confirm student status. You may also need this letter when opening a bank account or for applying for a council tax exemption if you're a full-time student. You can also request Statement of Student Status letters via Ask UCL, the online system for student inquiries, or you can print these via postcode. The Student Inquiry Centre team can also sign a wide range of forms to confirm you're enrolled at UCL, such as rail card applications if you meet the terms and conditions, or forms for Erasmus students. The Student Inquiry Centre can also answer general queries about your student record, your exams, and produce Schengen visa letters for international students. The Study Abroad team come in once a week to help students who are considering applying for a year abroad. If you have any questions or concerns and don't know where to go, the Student Inquiry Centre is a great place to start. The team are here to help and can always point you in the right direction.
Now this is important.
Ask UCL is a smart online system for student inquiries that helps you get the answers you need. So what does it do? Well, Ask UCL is first of all an information hub with a comprehensive set of FAQs covering all sorts of common topics, from exams, fee payments and student finance, to study abroad options, disability support and mental health. So, if you have a question related to your studies or life at UCL, the FAQs will help you to figure things out. So no more feeling lost, confused or unsure. All you need to do is log in, type your question or keywords into the search bar, and you'll likely find your answer straight away. Simple. If you can't find the answer to your question in the FAQs, then you'll see an easy-to-use online form to submit your inquiry in your own words. Your inquiry will go directly to the relevant team, meaning you'll get a quick response. You can now also track your inquiry, so you'll know exactly which team is working on it and how long till you'll get a response. If you don't think we've answered your question, or if something else comes up, you can always reopen an existing inquiry. Ask UCL is changing the way we handle inquiries, giving you a faster, more secure and more streamlined service, all in one place. So you can get the information you need quicker than ever before. So from now on, if you have a question, just ask UCL.
Okay, so, and all of this you can find on this website around student support and well-being. And I just want to emphasize, particularly, don't be afraid to ask for help. That Ask UCL is fantastic. So if you're, got something and, it's a Sunday night and you need an answer ASAP, you just put in Ask UCL, pop up, you put your information, you ask your question, you'll probably get your answer, okay? The other thing I want to really emphasize is if you have got any disability, a learning disability, it is your right, okay, to get the extra support that you need. And I really feel very passionate about that. I have a daughter and she is in her last year of university and she has done fantastic. She is severely dyslexic. She also has other learning disabilities. She did not have a very good ride. She had a very bumpy ride, early on in her education because she wasn't diagnosed and she wasn't getting the support that she has. She's here studying in London. She's been, really, we got her tested. She's getting the support she needs and she's doing fantastic. So don't deny yourself. If you've got dyslexia or you've got another learning disability, it is your right. And, so, she gets extra time for exams. She's allowed to use a laptop when she takes her exams. It's just made such a difference for her. So, and if you are not sure and you think you might have a learning disability, go get tested, so that you can get diagnosed, so that you can get the support you need, okay? But don't feel shy to do that, because it can be transformational, okay? And it's your right. So don't let your health or your disability stop you from doing things, okay? And then, last but not least, of course, eat and drink sensibly. We all know that, right? Exercise, sleep. Again, there's been so much research on sleep, and so many adults walk around sleep deprived. That's the sad reality. It's the one thing we cheat ourselves on, and we don't realize that it has such an impact on our mental state, and